Varuna, Dell, you've been there for a very long time, but more than that, you have been in IT. So I'm not talking to you today only as a Dell representative, but also as a person who's been involved and seen the change over the many, many years that you've been actively involved. What's your take on the topic?
Yeah, thank you, Peter. First of all, congratulations and best wishes to our team. And thank you for inviting myself again. An honor to be with you, Peter, on this panel. My take is this. Let me go a little slowly here. I do consider myself not as Dell right now, right? We all are IT professionals of this country. We all are. We may be vendor, the partner, a Sri Lankan vendor, some legends, as well as our esteemed customers. But at the end of the day, we all are IT professionals. Considering the topic of transformation, why do we need to transform? That is the question that's I would like to elaborate a little bit. While doing so, I heard from one of our esteemed bankers that the business is thinking we as a cost center, right? Actually, the reality perspective, we should be the drivers of the transformation of the business, not the cost center. So one of the takeaways from after this today's discussion, as an IT fraternity, a set of IT professionals here, we should take it back to the business. Look, Mr. Business, we know you are running IT to run the business, but we are the forefront or the edge doing this transformation in the fourth industrial revolution. We came through multiple industry revolutions, from the steam to electrical to the computing, and now into digital transformation. We will take a look where we are standing right now at the pace that we are in. There was a time, if I take the example of insurance, people would be very happy, some insurance agent to be spoken to once a year, like if your business or a vehicle get crashed, time it takes. That's the same patience is there with your customers right now. That's the same expectation from the business. Take a banker. I have not been to a physical bank for 5 years, and I do not expect to go to a bank as well. But does our banks ready for the 100% virtual presence? Take the new generation. Take it as tourism. Take it as skills. The world has moved to a different paradigm with all these new generation of people, as well as the high speed of connectivity. If we take tourism, is a mix of technology and tourism together now. And you know why I'm saying so. Coming back to the IT, as well as the overall skill set of things, do we have the same set of people who's running the IT skills show? Are they there for their life as IT administrators, or do they have to switch from technology to technology every 1 year or every 2 years? Does our courses do provide the same level of dynamism to our society? Coming back to a little bit on the defense side, I did cover tourism, banking, insurance. Coming to the defense side, the traditional warfare has gone. To cripple a country, some time back, somebody had to put a couple of nuclear bombs in Japan. But today, if you disable the digital infrastructure of a company, of a country or a city, that is the fifth generation of warfare. So the transformation is already happening in the world as a human need, as a human greed, part of human need as well as human greed. The technology has transformed as well, and the technology is the primary driver who's doing the transformation. So as a set of professionals whom are at the forefront of the technology, we are in the driving seat. We are not a cost center. We are the drivers of the business. This is the message that we all want to take back to our business. Businesses who are not ready for this transformation will be extinct. Though it's a little bit of a harsh word, Peter.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
For the businesses to move on, the technology flag bearers, all of us in this room, will have to drive that transformation. That is the need of transformation, as well as that is the mission in our hands. This is on a philosophical note how I see it.
No, it's not philosophical actually. You're going to the heart of the problem, which is the role of the IT department today, which is very, very different from what it was when we started, for even what it was 5 years ago when I left the industry. So I think thank you for that. So we're getting very different perspectives. That's very interesting. Reggie, you've been with VMware for a long time. You have a company that's driving a lot of changes in the data center, in the end user, revolutionized computing with virtualization. How are you seeing the topic, and what are the key points that you want to share with the audience this evening?
Yeah, thank you, Peter. And congratulations, the OP team, and thank you very much for inviting us on behalf of VMware team. So today's my take is, so as Peter and the other panelists, they initiated why we need to transform, why we need to modernize, right? So as we see as end users, right? So I just wanted to start up with a real-time experience we came across. So when pandemic hit us, right? So then we had affected with the supply chain challenges, right? So we won't be able to bring down the hardware, set up the platform and all. So our requirements to spinning off the applications, provide the services when work from home scenarios. So the application has to be spin off in a fast way. So then as a customer, what we did is we went to the cloud, right? So initially we went and we spin off the workloads. So sooner we came out from the pandemic, we have gone through a massive financial crisis, right? So then again, once we move the workloads, we have to face a massive dollar hit, and there's a huge money has to go out. So then we were thinking how we can bring back the workloads to our data centers, right? So once you move to these native platforms, so if you wanted to bring it back, so you have to consider the re-platforming and all those aspects, right? So in this context, so I want to take it why the data center should be modernized in a cloud base of delivery. So one is to avoiding the silos. So today the infrastructure you are managing, if you want to move it to the cloud or if you want to bring it back, so your private cloud is, your private infrastructure has to be managed in a different silo, your cloud has to be managed in different silo, and you won't be able to bring it back, the application back and forth, then you have to do a re-platforming, right? So that is what, as a first phase, we need to see the data center needs to be modernized with a cloud base. Then you're able to run the cloud native applications as well as the monolithic standard your applications, right? So that is one of the aspects. So if you see today the digital transformation happening in two major aspects. One is application modernization, second is a cloud initiative, right? If you look at it, the application transformation, so application transformation actually dominating the cloudification. So what sort of a cloud infrastructure is needed? It could be the private cloud, or it's a hybrid cloud, it's a mix of a public cloud. So the application is dominating what we need to be set up. So in addition to that, the security as a customer, your security and compliance also, setting up proper standards, what sort of cloud will be fit into that, right? So that is what we need to see, how and what we can do it to bring your data center as a cloud base. So anytime you will be setting up your infrastructure in a software defined architecture, that is more or less it's available with the public cloud. So then you're able to lift and shift the applications. So that is in the transformation front we see as a challenge. So what we need to transform. So then we are ready anytime to spin off the workloads from anywhere and run your applications, you develop your applications, and you can move with the applications across any of the cloud, right? So that is one of the concepts. So other area we see the artificial intelligence, right? So that is helping the industries, regardless of any industries. It can be a healthcare industry, or it can be a financial, or it can be a manufacturing industries. In manufacturing, artificial intelligence is helping to bring the supply chains in a much more efficient way. So likewise, in a VMware perspective, so we bring the flexibility to the customers to bring a generative AI, artificial intelligence. So that brings the flexibility to customers to start and deploy the applications in a larger ecosystem. It can be with the different hardware platforms, or it can be different with the hyperscalers wherever stack is available. So you're able to run your AI workloads on top of your data center, and you can get the benefit, especially the long language modules, and especially these applications you are going to develop with AI is purely on open source. So that's how the flexibility comes. So overall, the transformation perspective, so my other take is the security. So security also has to be built as a part of natively. So wherever if you see as a complete infrastructure, so you need to consider a security from your endpoint to your cloud to workloads to your network and your identity segment. So security has to be considered each and every segments as a natively integrated platform. So then your platform is completely transforming along with the security in a native way. So that is my take.